Brought to you by 1AAuto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet.
Hi, I'm Mike from 1AAuto. I hope this how-to video helps you out. And next time you need parts for your vehicle, think of 1AAuto.com. Thanks.
In this video, we're going to show you front strut replacement on this 97 VW Jetta. This procedure is pretty much the same for any 93 to 98 Golf as well as the Jetta. We're going to show you the passenger side. The driver's side is the same, and we do always recommend you replace these in pairs. And tools you'll need are jack and jack stands. You'll need a lug wrench, 18 to 22 millimeter sockets. You'll need a ratchet, and then you'll also need a breaker bar or a piece of pipe for some extra leverage for a few of those bolts. A pipe wrench, 7 millimeter Allen key or wrench, 10 to 18 millimeter wrenches, a flat blade screwdriver, penetrating oil, and after you replace your struts, it is recommended that you have your vehicle aligned.
On the top here, it's just a single nut, and we're going to spray down a little penetrating fluid. It's a 22 millimeter nut in there, and then you hold the shaft with a 7 millimeter Allen wrench. I'm going to take my 22 millimeter socket, put it on there, then my Allen wrench, and put it in. Make sure it's down in there. Now I'm going to grab onto my Allen wrench with a larger wrench. That gives me more leverage. Now I'm grabbing onto my socket. Let's see. I grab onto my socket with a pipe wrench. I'm actually just going to let this press that wrench against the car here. That nut to start going.
I'm just going to fast forward here as I remove the nut the rest of the way. So again, I've got the socket on the nut, the Allen wrench down through the center of the socket. You'll need a 1/2 inch drive socket in order to do this. And then I have the wrench hooked onto the end of the Allen wrench to give it a better ability to hold it. And then just grabbing hold of the socket, the top of the socket with the pipe wrench, and turning it counterclockwise to remove the nut. And I'll actually get the nut loosened all the way up and just keep it threaded right on the top just for right now. Start by raising and supporting your Jetta or Golf. You want to remove the wheel. You may need to remove or loosen the lugs first, then raise and support the vehicle. As you'll see in the next few shots, I actually have I have the car up on the lift, but then I have a jack underneath the front suspension on the side I'm working on to support it. And this is how you want to have it set up here. You want to have the jack stand back where that yellow arm is reaching under the vehicle, supporting the vehicle, and then have a floor jack underneath the suspension to support it.
Okay, here's the strut tower, and as I let it down, you can see that the strut starts falling down into the tower here. We're just going to leave it right there for now. And now we're going to concentrate down here. Okay, so we're going to undo the nuts on these strut mounts. And okay, these are 18 millimeter nuts on the back side. Okay, so put it on there. The more leverage you can get, the better. Okay. Now I got this to move, but I'm not sure. Okay, now I'm going to watch my bolt there. Okay, looks like I kind of did a little bit of both. I moved it as well as got the bolt off a little bit. Okay, now this is moving.
Okay, so here I'm fitting my ratchet with another 18 millimeter socket. You could use the ratchet or wrench and putting force on both. and getting them going. And from there, it's just a matter of backing the nut off. I back it all the way off until I get the nut off by hand, but then just leave the nut on so the bolt stays in place right for now.
Okay, because my brake hose is right there, I'm going to use an 18 millimeter wrench, hold on to here, and just to provide myself some extra leverage.
Fast forward here again. Like I said, on that lower bolt, a little harder to get the ratchet on there because the brake line's in the way. So I just used a wrench, and just makes it a little bit more difficult. But once you go at it and get it, you're all set.
Okay, before I take those bolts all the way out, just going to use a screwdriver here. Force this right out. Okay, now we're going to let suspension all the way down. Pull that out, and our strut comes down nice and easy. Okay, new strut from Warning Auto. You can see it's the exact same as the old strut. The only thing is we will have to grab this bracket from the old one and put on the new one. That's not a big deal. But this is going to go in there exactly the same. Has the spring attached. This is one of our loaded struts. And installation, reverse of the procedure, put it up in place. Okay. Bring this over. Take one of my bolts, put it right through, my other bolt, push this through. Okay, and when you do this, you're always going to need to take these, after you replace your struts, if you do it on your own, you will need to take it to a shop and have it aligned, unless you have to happen to have an alignment rack in your garage, but not a lot of people do, including myself. So we'll bolt this in place and then get it over and get it aligned. I'm just going to take a floor jack and raise the strut up just a little bit. New strut from Warning Auto comes with the upper mount and the bolt and everything. Put it down in, put that right on, and usually since everything's nice and new, you can just tighten it right up. You don't have to worry about that shaft spinning at all.
Okay, I'm just going to fast forward as I use a pipe wrench and the socket and tighten it up, and it should be tightened up to about 45 to 50 foot-pounds. And I'll continue that fast forwarding as I work on the two lower bolts and these two, again, just using my different wrenches and breaker bars, and I'll torque those up in a minute.
Now tighten these nuts up to 85 foot-pounds. This little bracket comes off easily enough with a 10mm wrench or a socket and ratchet. Okay, this gear's just bent a little bit too low. I'm just going to bend it out here a little bit. Allows me to mount this bracket correctly.
Now just fast forward here again as I tighten up that 10mm bolt that holds that bracket on, and then make sure that the brake hose is clipped back into it. And I'll keep the fast forward going, remove the jack, put up my wheel and tighten it preliminarily, and then you want to torque your lug nuts to between 95 and 100 foot-pounds, and then you should be all set. We hope this helps you out. Brought to you by www.1aauto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet. Please feel free to call us toll-free 888-844-3393. We're the company that's here for you on the internet and in person.